Hi, this is TM News October 30th, episode 14, and as usual I'll start with the latest results. TM Tournament is getting deeper into the playoffs, with the quarterfinals having been played this previous Sunday. In the first quarterfinal, Team Acer was able to rather easily defeat Easy Killer with a quick 2-0 score, only allowing Easy Killer to win 2 rounds in total. The second quarterfinal was between BX3 and Führer. BX3 were the big favorites here, but it was Führer who started off by winning the first map with a 7-5 score, and it was looking like they could perhaps make a huge upset and eliminate BX3 from the tournament. But then BX3 managed to come back and win the other 2 maps with scores of 3-7 and 5-7, and thus proceeded to the semifinal, where they will face off Team Acer, which will be a repeat of the ESL CPS final that took place earlier this year. On the other half of the bracket, Team Hot was facing Rule Them All, and Rule Them All took the lead in this match by winning the first map with 5-7. But then Hot could win the second map with a convincing 7-2 score to get it to a final and decisive map. This map turned out to be something out of the ordinary, where tennis mode had to be set in effect. Eventually, after both teams had match points, Team Hot could make an upset and defeat Rule Them All with 9-7 on the last map to qualify for the semifinal. And their opponent there will be Terra, who defeated the Very Short players in the last quarterfinal. This match was another close affair, starting with Very Short players winning the first map with a score of 8-6. But then Terra came back and could win the other 2 maps 4-7 and 5-7. The 2 semifinals will however not take place next weekend, as we have another tournament happening then, so the TMT staff decided to skip a week because of that. Below this video you'll find VODs of the quarterfinals and a link to the website if you want to check out the playoffs tree. And in conjunction with TMT, Team Masters Knockout Race was played the day before on Saturday using the current TMT map pack. Last race Acer Royal won it, and remarkably he was able to defend his title and win again this week to make it twice in a row. This however does still not put him first overall, since his teammate Acer Frostbuel finished second this race and keeps himself in front by having a slightly better average finish. But with only 2 races left, and with your 4 best results counting in the total, it's bound to be a thriller between these 2 players for first place, as no one else is really close right now to challenge them. A VOD from Stubby TV, who cast the race in German, as well as POVs from the 2 Team Acer players Frostbuel and Tamarillo can be found below, as well as a link to the rankings as it stands right now. Also, because TMT is currently having a break, it's possible there will also be a break for the knockout race, although nothing is finalized yet. Lastly, for results, over at ESL the 3rd playday of the Speed Premiership 7 was played this past weekend. And as usual, ESL asked the Speed player to make some predictions for each match, and this time it was the player Dan's time to do that. You can check for yourself if it was right in the news post provided below. Moving on to community news, Nadeo is celebrating their 10th anniversary of Trackmania this year, and they are doing so by hosting 3 creative contests: a skin making contest, a video making contest, and lastly a track making contest. Participants will have until November 24th to submit their entries. However, only the first 60 submitted entries for all 3 contests will be considered, so it's really recommended to submit your entries sooner than later if you want to make sure to be entered. Then all the entries will go through an extensive judging process, and the winners of the contest will get to be featured in the official Mania Planet store alongside other still unknown prizes. Then later this year, at December 14th, Nadeo will feature all finalists in a live stream and announce the winners and also the prizes there. If you want to participate, then check out the Maniac news linked underneath, where you'll find all the official rules of entry and also the submission forms. That's the only news I have for the community section, so let's move on to the upcoming events. Another French LAN is taking place soon, called the XTL LAN, which will take place this upcoming weekend, and they are gonna host a Trackmania Nations Forever tournament. All the information is in French, so I can't really say much about it because of that, but if you're interested, then there's a Maniac news provided below with everything you need to know if you want to attend the event. Continuing with LANs, a German LAN called the HSF Clan Wars X will take place on the same weekend. This LAN will be hosting tournaments for all Mania Planet Trackmania games, and there are some prize money in the pot as well. Minato wrote a news about this over at Maniac2 if you want to check it out. Then over at ESL we have the Speed Premiership 7 Weekly Cup 4, which will take place tomorrow on Thursday. Current SPS 7 maps will be used, and the format will be ESL Cup mode, so simply sign up on the site if you want to participate. For Canyon, the Smurfs Cup hosted by Smurfn.net will be hosting cups every Saturday at 8 PM Central European Time this November. This event is played on 7 maps throughout the whole month, and you can win some planets as prizes. All you have to do to join is to simply join the server before starting time. A Maniac News written by Them will provide you with more information. Lastly, besides the Team Masters knockout race, there are also knockout races in Canyon and United which are hosted by Trackmania Exchange. These events are also played on Saturday, starting with a Canyon knockout race at 10:30 in the morning, and then an evening race at 21:30. And after that there's also a United knockout race, which is taking place at 23:30 if you want to stay up late. More information about these knockout races are linked below. And that's all I have for this week's episode, so all that remains for me to say is thanks for watching and see you next week.